with that, any hope we had of being just another fate binder has evaporated. We're going to have to claim all the spires and gain more power for when the Overlord inevitably decides we are a threat and decides to kill us, or something. Seal. Let's take a look, shall we? He takes the seal, and I'm not even going to bother to try and pronounce his name, because I can't. I just straight up can't. And turns it over. When he spots the insignia, he quickly deposits it back in your hands and wipes his palm clean. Where did you get that? It came from a merchant caravan that was ransacked, as it happens. Suspected as much. He mumbled and worries his brow. So far off the normal trading routes. But why there? Why then? Why now? Maybe you could start this by telling me about the merchants. He refocuses on you and nods. Of course, the sigil belongs to the Handover Quill Merchant Company. His lips tighten to form a violent pucker. Tell me more about the Handover Quill. They were once a powerful trade organization that, well, he cups his mouth and glances around. Let's just say you didn't want to get between them and a contract. What with Tunan's new laws in the Bastard City, the Quill slunk into the shadows of Kairos' authority, trying to keep a lower profile. If you're involved in any of their dealings, stay far away. A shipment of iron and weapons went missing. It was found with this seal in a house on Echo Call Crossing. Suspicious, I agree, but war always has its little problems. He weighs a dismissal. It doesn't add up. Now, if we can return to the subject of my wares. He smiles and readies to show you something. The weapons were meant to the Disfavored, and then the Vendrian Guard suddenly had iron weapons. Curious, wouldn't you say? The Vendrian Guard? He drums his fingers on his mouth and considers. Well, this changes things, I suppose. Changes things? What does Handover Quill have to do with the Vendrian Guard? First things first. This will come at a price. As something unfortunately took place and my connections were traced back to me, the consequences would be costly. Wait, you're trying to shake me down? I'm shocked, truly shocked, to find an honest merchant engaging in illicit trade, like shakedowns, for instance. I'm truly shocked by this. His complexion loses some of its color. Illicit? Whatever do you mean? That bottle, essence of mazenberries? A deadly poison. Tisk tisk. What bottle? Pulling on the end of his beard, he tries to follow the direction of your gesture. There's no... Then his confusion clears, replaced by stark understanding. Of course there's a bottle, and after you tell the authorities I must have stashed it or destroyed it, that's your word against mine. Am I correct? Quite perceptive of you. Occupational hazard. Without a heavy sigh, I should be used to this by now. If you breathe a word of this to anyone, I will denounce you for the liar that you are, but... Glances around to make sure no one's listening. I received instructions from Fifth Eye to use Handover Quill to deliver iron weapons to Vendrian's Well Citadel. Don't question my orders, I just follow through. I don't know anything else, and that's the truth. Well, I will look at your wares. At the very least. And I will buy some potions from you. Yeah. Since I did basically shake the guy down, it's only fair that I do a little shopping with him. A paltry sum in comparison to the 1,000 he would have gotten, but worth it, I'd say. Now, trial of Archons. The Voices of Narod also sent weapons to the Vendrian Guard. Now, blades of iron. Forge Foundry, Zedinia. Vintara here. We'll have a word. That's one of the people. Good day to you, Fatebinder. She salutes and stands to attention. My name is Vintara. Welcome to Lethian's Crossing. Commander, it's been a while since I took leave at the crossing. Glad to see you have everything in order. Beric nods. Ah, I see you know each other. That's nice to see. Maybe he'll cheer up a little bit. Beric, I haven't seen you since the March on Stalwart. Seems you've done well to yourself since then. She looks him up and down. What happened to you out there? I picked up some extra baggage on the way. Nothing I can't handle. Well, that's one way to describe it. Well, you look a mess. First chance you get, I want to see you in proper uniform. Understood? And she returns to attention. What can I help you with? Well, first things first, do you know when the Forgebound Master is arriving? My duty is to protect those that are here, not watch for additional arrivals. I've given that task to Eldian to handle. It keeps him busy enough that he generally leaves me to do my duty in peace. Plus, it makes him feel more important than he actually is. If you want to know more about our arrival, speak to him. He went to the forge to prepare. On the next tier up. Well, we'll just make a little small talk now. How have the Disfavored fared with the additional iron weapons? It has been a boon to us, Fatebinder. They have helped to maintain peace and order here. In the crossing, you have our thanks for your generosity. He salutes you. Well, I'll have to be going now. Travel well. The Otis. Is that the person we're after? Possibly. Welcome, friend. He weighs about dramatically. What brings you to my trading post? That's not the person we're looking for, is it? Possibly just up here instead? Or inside, even. We'll see. And this is indeed it. Master, the Fatebinder is here. Zidinia turns and approaches you, her lithe body moving fluidly as she walks. She stops before you. You stand solid and sure, but you see she is standing lightly on her feet, ready to move if necessary. She never takes her eyes off you, but you know she is acutely aware of her surroundings. Fatebinder, may the fires of your forge never cool. He salutes you. I had hoped our paths would cross. Indeed? Indeed. Word has reached my ears of your hand in removing the Edict of Storms from Sentinel's Stand Keep. That was no small feat. I'd ask you how you did it, but I'm sure you have more important things to talk about. Indeed we do. Indeed we do. In my years leading the Forgebound, I've never heard of a Fatebinder accomplishing something of such significance. It is an honor to meet someone of such distinguished deeds. What can this servant of the flame do for you? Why have you come to Lethian's Crossing? What an odd question. When you showed up in the fort, I thought you'd been sent to check up on me, as my mission came directly from Tunon. Shouldn't you already know? I was tasked with creating an artifact to protect the Forgebound from the Bane. We have been delayed too often and lost too many of our own, so it was decreed that something must be done. I created the Mage Bane helm to keep the Bane at bay. Once the helm is in place, its magic will keep the Bane locked away inside the old walls. Our goals are the same then. I was sent to ensure the Forgebound can continue making weapons for the Disfavored. Then you are in luck. Once the helmet has been placed, the interruptions caused by the Bane will be no more, and the Forgebound can truly return to their work. Why a helm? Forgebound are crafters of weapons and armor, Fatebinder, not statues and baubles. I make what I know. It's also portable and can be moved easily or used in battle should its protection be needed elsewhere. For the time being, though, it will remain here protecting the Forgebound. We have a job to do and cannot do it properly if we are constantly assaulted by outside forces. I think we know why they stay here, because of the iron supplies. So why were you asked to create this item? Couldn't any Forgebound do it? All Forgebound are masters of their craft, and each also has their special talents. Mage Bane required someone whose skills were well above those who haven't been practicing as long as I have. Tunon wanted a masterpiece, so we asked the master. Well, that's a fair enough thing to do, I suppose. But how did you become a master of the Forgebound? I find myself curious. I was trained at a young age to be a warrior, but never felt any connection to that life, except when I was instructed how to repair my equipment. The fire spoke to me, it sang when I stoked it, and told me where to swing my hammer to achieve the proper shape. I knew from that first moment that it would be my life. I apprenticed with the Forgebound, and focused exclusively on my craft. Soon my skills were superior to everyone else. I took risks with magics no one else dared to touch, and created some of the most powerful artifacts ever to come from the Forgebound. Tyros recognized my skills and granted me the title of Master of the Forge. This is why Tunon asked me to personally create an artifact to protect Lethian's Crossing. I see. Well then, I was sent to ensure all was well with the Forgebound. Since everything seems in order, I shall take my leave now. As you wish, Fatebinder. I was just on my way to place the helmet. If you wouldn't mind, I'd like you to join us. The settlers have created a spot on the 3rd tier. I will meet you there. Very well, then. Eldian wants a word, apparently. An outsider never arrives alone. At least that's what my mother always said. Seems she knew what she was talking about. He nods thoughtfully at his own words. I'm Eldian. Welcome to Lethian's Crossing. Well, if it isn't Tunon's Fatebinder, welcome back to the Crossing. I haven't seen you around here since you put the Disfavored in charge of everything. Must say my memory seems to be failing, something I never thought I'd say. The way people talk about how you came through and drove the Brotherhood out of town. You should be 10 feet tall and shooting lightning from your eyes. Lol. Sorry, that's a bit of a blatant Dragon Age Awakening reference if you don't get it. And I'm not going to say what it is because that will be a spoiler, and I plan to let's play that game eventually. Anyways, back to the conversation. I seem to remember you being a little more human. Can't always tell the content of a pie from its crust, though, can you? Thankfully, the Disfavored haven't been too bad. At least you didn't choose the Scarlet Chorus to be our overlords. Yeah, I concur. As I said, they'd probably basically have conscripted everyone. But enough of my prattling. I didn't come here for a history lesson or to get my opinion of your grandeur. He waves his hand dismissively at his previous comments. The adjudicator sent you for the Archon of Song, I assume. What can this old fool do for you? What was that about the Archon of Song? Siren? Songbird? It was like it's half the town she's got mooning over her in that hovel near the river. It's on the first tier if you want to find her. Feel free to take her with you when you go. He cants his head slightly, banishing his sour expression. Seeing as you're not here for her, what can I do for you? Well, you mind if I ask some questions about the crossing? If you have questions, I'm the one to ask. I have the dubious distinction of being the oldest living resident of Lethian's Crossing, so I've been here for a lot of its history. He smiles. Eyes, hips, hair, and hearing might be failing, but my mind still remembers everything that happened here. What would you like to know about? I'll do my best not to go on too long. I have a problem keeping conversations short. Now, what can you tell me about the spire in Lethian's Crossing? Sometimes I wonder why Lethian thought it was a good idea to settle here. We already had a Bane problem before the Forgebound set up here. Now that they're using the crossing as one of their main forges, the Bane issue is even worse. Since the Bane are drawn to magical energy, we have to be on constant alert for them escaping. How did you seal the door? Obtained a keystone that can be used to open or seal the door. One of Kyrus' soldiers found it while they were looking for a way to seal the doors. It's only a temporary measure, it holds them back for now, but it won't last for much longer. Will you let me into the old walls? Because I'm looking for some stuff. Not willing to take the risk, apparently. Fair enough, he doesn't want to endanger the town. But on my way in, I ran into some merchants who were leaving town. Why exactly are people leaving? If I were honest, Fatebinder, I'm surprised more people haven't left, not just the merchants. Current tension in town between the Brotherhood and Kyrus' forces is making Lethian's Crossing a very dangerous place to live. But life outside is even worse, so where would they go? At least the merchants can take their livelihood with them. True, I suppose. The Disfavored keep everything under tight control with incredible discipline. Everyone is expected to follow the rules to the letter, and the punishments meted out are harsh. Not really the best environment for the settlers, but the Forgebound thrive on it, and the Disfavored only really care about them. Well, I think that's going to do it for questions. I must go to the spire and make sure everything's ready. I'll meet you there. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm not gonna ask every single question of this guy, or we'd be here all day. Let's see. Is there something you want? He surveys things with an air of superiority and doesn't make eye contact. Is there a problem? Yes, but these are Forgebound matters, nothing that concerns Tunon's court. Okay then, we'll be leaving. Alrighty then. Nice district walls. Third tier of the crossing where she's going to place the helm. That will be up at the very top, I imagine. And I'm going to drop a save game before I speak to her, based on the very reasonable assumption that something's going to happen that will result in battle very soon, and I don't want to have to redo everything. Oh, those are just settlers. My bad. Still a reasonable assumption for me to have made, I think. And here we are. It is done. Good, good. Now the people of Lethian's Crossing have one less thing they must worry about. Fatebinder, will you go inside and see what effect the helm is having on the Bane? You're going to just leave it sitting out there in the open, are you? Give me some credit, Fatebinder. I haven't cast the protection magics on it yet. Before I do that, someone needs to go inside the old walls and ensure everything is working properly. Looks and raises her eyebrows. I'm sorry, Zedinia, but the safety of the crossing and its citizens is my top priority. I don't doubt you, but I need to know the Bane are contained. Very well. Harris's law states that no one is allowed to enter the old walls. But, and we're not telling them this, I've done it before, and more to the point, if no one goes inside, we'll never know if it's working. Very well, I will do this for you. Thank you, your help is invaluable. I just need to know my citizens are safe. And we get a keystone.
Right.
Take this, it's a keystone to enter the old walls. The entrance is directly below us, and good luck. And we have some old walls to enter. Which, shockingly, Tiberius is even less bothered about it than he used to be. We used to be terrified of the prospect that we'd have to go into the old walls, since it was in violation of Karis's laws to do so. But now, he can't bring himself to care, really. It's necessary, and that's all we really care about. Because Tiberius, now, starting to make the transition from loyal servant of the Overlord to he will serve the Overlord until the Overlord decides to stab him in the back for being too powerful and therefore a threat. And so, in order to prevent that from being the case, we are going to go after the spires and gather as much power as we can. And other things like that. Here we are. Who wants to wager we've disturbed the Bane? Any takers? Sorry, Eb, but I'm afraid that's a bit of a sucker's bet. Apparently they've escaped. Who would have guessed?
I will aid you. enjoying this. As you wish.
Okay.
On it.
Would you mind not dying? I would appreciate that.
Whatever you need.
Where did all this blood come?
Seriously. Okay. Kill that thing, please. And we can turn our attention to targets that matter more.
Someone staunch my bleeding.
Tiberius will join them as soon as he's done with his business. Now, add it, please.
By your command.
Thank you for that, Tiberius. Eric, drink a damn potion. Got him. Got him.
I will aid you.
Go for it. Eric is dying.
Someone staunch my bleeding.
Can't drink a potion yet, but killed the one we were after.
Can't do that.
And Tiberius can heal Barrack, I think. Ebb, telekinetic blast attack, please. Oh, one of these AoE. These thingamawhatsits.
On it.
And now we've killed the Bane.
Found something.
Okay. I'll get back to her eventually, but I have other priorities. Note from the Iron Guard, you're allowed entry to find a path to the Bronze Brothers campsite, blah blah blah. You keep the shit you find. 12 Archons. That's evidence against the Disfavored, which we'll be keeping to ourselves. Little bit of cheese in there. Like this. Old water healing potion, whetstone. And whatever this is, I'm taking a charcoal rubbing. Capture a blurry but proportionate image of the relief. Reconstruct with enough rubbings. Yes. And there's an eerie glow coming from the pit. don't see anything else we can grab from in here. But we can't go further in just yet. I'll be coming back later, though, for the purpose of getting in there and searching further for our tower. Or spire, even. But for the time being, it is going to be put on the back burner while we do other things. What is going on here? Gone, they are free to spill out. What the hell happened? It was fine when we went in. What happened? We need your help. The Bronze Brotherhood are attacking, led by that bitch ring dropper Saratha. We could betray the Alliance and take the town for ourselves, but no, we're going to stick with the Disfavored and take care of these motherless curs. Let us be done with these countryless fools. We will lend our strength for the glory of the North. Rhea is trying to hold the line. They're in the center of town near the river. I'm down with that. We have some bronze assholes to kill.
Can't do that.
The asshole Brotherhood needs to die. But that will be next time, for this recording has gone on for long enough. So this has been DarkPhoenix Ninja 92. You've been watching my Let's Play of Tyranny. I hope you'll join me next time, where we will be giving the Bronze Brotherhood a firm boot up the ass. If you've enjoyed this, please like, comment down below, share this video with anyone you think might also enjoy it, and subscribe to see more like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. See you then, folks. See you then.